Every time I make a video, I end up wasting so much time trimming out those pauses, bad takes, and the moments where I say the same thing 5 different times before I finally get it right. And even after all that, I still need to find the one part that would actually perform on TikTok, Reels, or Shorts. I just wish I could skip all of that and go straight to the parts that help me grow, turning my long recordings into short, scroll-stopping clips without living on a timeline all day. For over a year now, I've been trying different tools to speed this up. Some are great at cutting silences. Some are decent at transcript-based editing. Traditional editors like Premiere, Final Cut, and Resolve are fantastic when I want to polish a final video, but they don't solve my biggest bottleneck, consistently finding the best moments inside long videos and getting them ready to post. That's where Vizard genuinely changed my output. If you make talking head videos, voiceovers, podcasts, webinars, or interviews, this is a game changer for turning long form into short, publishable clips without burning out. Quick heads up, this isn't a one tool does everything speech. There are tools that help you clean up audio, remove silences, and tidy your long videos. They absolutely have their place. But if your goal is to post more short-form content regularly without spending your evenings hunting for highlights, Vizard is where you win back time. It doesn't just clean a timeline, it finds the moments worth posting and makes them look native on each platform. Let me show you how I use it. I log into Vizard, drag and drop a long recording, maybe it's a 45-minute podcast, a Zoom interview, a webinar replay, or a solo monologue, and Vizard takes it from there. It auto-transcribes the audio and analyzes the content to surface high-impact moments, lines with a strong hook, clear payoff, quotable insights, or concise how-tos. That's the critical difference. Silence removal is helpful, but it doesn't tell you what to post. Vizard does. After processing, I get a neat list of suggested clips. Each one is cut to natural boundaries, no awkward mid-word jumps or mid-breath cuts. I can preview a clip right from the transcript snippet, skim what it's about, and decide in seconds whether it's worth posting. If I want to tighten the pacing, I nudge the in and out points on the timeline. If I need to tweak the wording on captions, I edit directly in the transcript. Don't love a suggestion? I reject it. Want a different angle? I ask Vizard to find moments where I share a contrarian take, a clear step-by-step, or a strong emotional hook. It's like having an assistant who already watched the entire video and bookmarked the highlights. This is where the contrast with other tools becomes obvious. Editors that only remove silences give you a tidier long video, but you still have to decide what to clip. Transcript-only tools are great for cleaning up, but they don't prioritize what will actually perform on social. Heavy NLEs give you total control, but they're slow when the goal is volume. Vizard is optimized for outcomes. It picks viral parts from long videos and turns them into ready-to-post content, so you can spend your time reviewing and publishing, not hunting. Now let's talk about how these clips look. When I open a suggested highlight, Vizard automatically formats it for the platform I care about. If it's Shorts or Reels, I switch to 9:16 with safe margins. If I'm going to LinkedIn or X, I can go 1.1 or 16.9. The layout adapts, and the speaker stays centered with smart reframing, no manual keyframes. Captions are auto-generated and customizable. Fonts, colors, brand-friendly styles, and word-by-word highlights to keep viewers engaged. I can add quick on-screen labels for steps, a subtle logo, or a title card if the clip needs context. Want a little jump zoom between cuts for energy? Toggle it on. Prefer a clean, minimal look? Keep it simple and let the message do the work. What about B-roll and graphics? Honestly, I keep it light for most clips. Smart captions and clean framing already boost retention. But when I reference a list or a number, I'll add a tiny lower third or a bold keyword pop. The goal is to be fast and consistent. Could I take the clip into a full editor for heavy effects? Sure, and if I'm doing a brand integration or a special campaign, I'll sometimes do that. But for day-to-day posting, going from raw to publishable inside Vizard saves hours every week. The feature that quietly changed everything for me is scheduling. I set how often I want to publish, say 3 times a week, and Vizard's auto-schedule handles the rest. I get a posting cadence without the mental overhead. It drops clips onto my calendar, and I can drag them around if something newsy pops up or I want to time a post with a product update. No more blank calendar anxiety or last-minute scrambling. All of this lives inside the content calendar. It's where I see what's going out on Shorts, Reels, TikTok, and even LinkedIn if I'm repurposing thought leadership moments. I tweak the post text, add hashtags, and adjust cover text per platform, so each clip feels native. The best part? It's all in one place. No juggling 4 different upload pages or trying to remember whether clip 12 already went to Instagram last week. Let's compare this with the other workflows I've used. Transcript-first editors are great for cleaning up long recordings and building a polished long video. But if your goal is short-form growth, you're still manually hunting for highlights afterward. That's where momentum dies. Silence removers speed up rough cuts but don't tell you what to post. You spend less time trimming and the same amount of time deciding. Heavy NLEs are amazing for creative control, color, and sound design, but making 10-15 clips a week with full manual workflows is just not sustainable for most creators or small teams. Vizard fits right in the middle. It finds the viral parts for you, makes them social ready, and helps you actually publish on a consistent schedule. Here's a quick real-world example. I took a 45-minute podcast episode and imported it into Vizard. After analysis, it suggested a dozen clips. Some were clear hooks, some were punchy quotes, and a couple were step-by-step explanations. I skimmed the transcript highlights and picked 5 to post this week. 2 open with a strong question, 1 challenges a common belief, 1 shows a simple framework, and 1 delivers a quick win. I tightened the pacing by a couple of seconds, styled captions to match my brand, switched 2 clips to 9:16 for Reels and 1 to 1.1 for LinkedIn, then dropped them into the calendar. That entire process took me minutes, not hours. And look, there are other tools in this space. Some are laser focused on silence removal, others are good at transcript-based cuts. A few promise automation but lock advanced features behind pricey tiers. The limitation I kept hitting was either too basic to be helpful for publishing or too heavy and time-consuming for volume. Vizard hits the sweet spot for creators who want to grow through short form. Find the best moments, make them look good, and keep your posting rhythm without turning your week into a post-production marathon. If you're someone who likes recording in batches, like 2 podcasts in a day or 1 long webinar per week, Vizard works even better. You can load the recordings, let it surface the moments, approve the best ones, and then schedule across the week. Instead of agonizing over what should I post today, you're simply reviewing the highlights that are already done. And this is where consistency quietly starts doing the heavy lifting. Once the clips are ready, I just slide them into the calendar and let the schedule handle the cadence. If something timely pops up, a product note, a reaction to a trend, I'll reshuffle a slot and drop the new clip in. No stress, no scrambling. It's the first time I've felt like short form is running in the background instead of running my day. I've also learned to keep the workflow boring in a good way. Record once, import, approve a handful of highlights, style them with the same presets, schedule, move on. The creativity happens in the ideas, not the process. The more I keep the process predictable, the easier it is to show up every week without burning out. And because everything lives in one place, captions, formats, calendar, I'm not bouncing between 6 tabs trying to remember what went where. If you're curious how this stacks up against other routes, here's the honest version. The tools that just remove silences make a longer video easier to watch, but they don't help you publish more. You still have to decide what's actually worth posting, reframe it, add captions, and export for each platform. You save a few minutes, then pay it back in manual decisions. Transcript-only editors tidy things up nicely, but once you want real shorts, you're back to resizing, restyling, and, on some plans, unlocking basic stuff like decent caption styles or multiple aspect ratios behind higher tiers. And the big traditional editors are incredible when you need full control. Color, sound, layered motion, but they're slow for volume. Plugins for captions, manual reframing, exports in 3 sizes, plus subscriptions or hardware overhead. It adds up fast when the goal is just to post more often. That's why the setup feels different. Vizard starts by solving the decision problem, what should I post? And then handles all the little frictions that usually stack up. It finds the moments, makes them look native on each platform, and keeps your posting rhythm without adding 5 new steps or another pricey add-on. No gatekeeping the basics behind premium tiers, no feeling like you need to become a full-time editor to keep up. One small shift that helped a lot was treating captions like design, not decoration. I keep 2 looks ready to go, a bolder style for clips that open with a hook and a cleaner style for educational bits. I'll highlight just the words that carry the idea and leave the rest simple. It reads better, it feels more intentional, and it saves me from tinkering on every single line. Titles help too. If I name a clip like a thumbnail, lead with the tension or the payoff, it gets more people to stick through the first few seconds, which is all you need for the algorithm to give it a chance. If you're collaborating, the same rhythm scales. I'll load a long recording, generate a batch of candidates, star the strongest ones, and drop 5 into next week. I leave a couple of alternates in the queue, so if someone requests a change, I swap without breaking the cadence. Clear names make approvals painless. Topic, platform, length. And because everything is already formatted for Shorts, Reels, TikTok, or LinkedIn, nobody's waiting around for exports or resizing. It's the difference between we should post more and we actually posted. On weeks where I want extra polish, maybe a brand integration or a hero piece, I'll still do the main cut in my traditional editor. But I don't abandon the system. I'll bring that final export back into Vizard and spin out the shorts from there. Long form gets the deep treatment. Short form gets the scale. It's not either or. It's just using each tool where it makes sense. The last piece is feedback. I don't obsess over analytics, but I do check 2 things. Do people stay past the first 3 seconds, and do they watch close to the end? If a certain hook style pulls more retention, like a strong question or a quick stop doing X, I'll use that structure next week on a new topic. If a format underperforms, long intros, soft openings, I cut it. That simple loop keeps the content improving without turning it into a science project. If you've been stuck in that cycle of trimming forever and posting whenever, this is the clean exit. Record once, let Vizard surface the moments, give them a consistent look, and keep the calendar moving. You're not trying to win an editing award. You're trying to show up more often with something worth watching. When the busy work shrinks, you actually do. So yeah, if you want fewer late nights on a timeline and more clips going live, this is the route I'd take. Keep the process simple. Let the tool do the heavy lifting and use your energy on the parts only you can do. Ideas, timing, the actual message. The rest is just packaging, and that's the easy part now.